was a mistake.
I meant sip it and then do the second take with that.
Hello. My name's Lee. We're at Mock Sporting House in Bellevue, Washington. And I'm gonna talk to you about the Elder Scrolls V. Skyrim.
That was really good.
Once upon a time in the magical land of Bethesda, Maryland, a man named Todd Howard decided to make video games. So he made the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. I don't know why they started at 3. Then they made the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And then several other games. And then they made the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. What was my note after that? You can be anyone you want to be in these games. That's the whole shtick in these games, is you can be a cat man or a woman, or a they them. You can be a lizard, or an elf, or a human. I'm always the human because I'm boring.
Can you be a fish person?
No, you cannot be a fish person.
What about with mods?
Definitely, we'll get to mods.
Oh.
That's one of the notes. So you start the game, and you're in a cart with a bunch of people, and you've been captured for, I don't know, you're going off to this town called Helgen, where they're gonna kill you. They don't really know why, they're just gonna, as your head's about to get cut off. And dragon comes in out of nowhere. And dragon swoops in and basically saves you, which is ironic because that's the bad guy in the game. This guy named Alduin. He's bad.
I want to know how you can remember the starting tab enough on my stand.
He was higher level in Skyrim than he is in
None of these statements are incorrect. This dragon saves you while simultaneously f***ing up Helgen. And then, after you escape Helgen, you're let loose out into the land of Skyrim, which is a fantasy Viking land full of fake made-up words, as opposed to Norway, which is the real fantasy Viking land, also full of made-up words. And for the sake of brevity, I'm just gonna go through to assume you do the main quest first. No one ever does that in a Bethesda game, but you go to this area called Whiterun, I think, and they're like, oh shit, dragons outside, go and deal with that, please. So you do, and you eat its soul, because that's metal as shit. You're the Dovahkiin, which is the Dragonborn. And they're like, oh my god, your dragons are coming back. They haven't been around for like 5 billion years, and they're gonna kill everybody and eat the world.
It looks very upset.
You gotta stop that. So, you do. The dragon might as well be voiced by Vin Diesel. There's another dragon meat who's not a bad guy, whose name is Parthenax. And he's a guy at the top of the mountain where the old monks are, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll show you our most powerful monk, and it's a fucking dragon, and he's voiced by Charles Martinet? Fucking Mario, man. As with any good Bethesda open world title, there are like different guilds you can join, which are much more interesting than the main quest, by leaps and bounds. So you have one, which is, they're called the Companions. It's like the Fighters Guild, and you go through and you beat stuff up, and like 4 quests into that, they're like, oh yo, by the way, we're werewolves. If you wanna be one of us, you gotta be a werewolf.
So they're pro STD.
Basically, and funnily enough, one of the people in there is like one of the main like people you can marry, which is a whole horrible feature of that game, which doesn't do anything. You can marry people.
Did you add a nudie mod?
No, please, Todd.
With realism, I don't know.
Isn't there already titties in that game?
You can add titties.
Why would you play without titties?
Or dongs. I mean, might as well get the whole package.
And then there's another quest line about you can be a wizard. That one sucks. I really like the Thieves Guild, Todd. That's my favorite. You're pulled in, you're roped into the thievery, the dark side of Skyrim. And they're like not doing too hot. And you're like, why are you not doing too hot? You're good thieves, you're stealing a bunch of stuff, what's going on? And as you go through, you realize there's a conspiracy, and the leader of the Thieves Guild isn't doing his job as a Thieves Guildman, and he's stealing from the company, and that's not okay. Tax evasion's a serious crime.
Thieves Guildman is his full name.
I think his name was Mercer Frey.
No, it's Thieves Guildman.
Yeah.
And you kill him, and then you become the Thieves Guildman.
So it's like a moniker. It's not his name.
It's like Highlander with from the name is Thieves Guildman.
Yeah.
And then the last big quest line is the Assassin's Guild, the Dark Brotherhood. And with that one, you just kill somebody and then you're kidnapped. And that person's like, yo, join our family of people who kills people. You should come hang out with us. You're pretty metal. You look like you listen to My Chemical Romance. And there's like this, like you go through the whole quest line and you like hug a dead lady. That part's really weird. There's like a clown guy. I don't like clowns.
What?
Cicero. It's like the clown guy who like brings the sarcophagus with the body of the... Did you ever do that quest line?
Are you speaking sober words or drunk words? What are you saying? There's a clown guy who brings a sarcophagus?
Yeah. I think I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, then you do that whole quest. I think that's actually the best quest line in the game. Because it's full of like really good symbolism. In the lore of the Bethesda Elder Scrolls universe, there are like 5-ish tenets that the Dark Brotherhood can't break. And the leader of the Dark Brotherhood breaks every single one. And that's why the Dark Brotherhood's not, they're in a rough patch. And you help fix that. And you start a new one. And it's way better. With or without the Clown Man, because he's an optional kill in that quest line. You can actually find him like on the road randomly as a random encounter. So what happens is you don't know he's an assassin. And there's like this family, he's like, his cart breaks down outside of this family's house, and the family's like, hey, this guy creeps us out because he's a weird clown man. Help?
So you're telling me that in Skyrim, if you didn't do the Dark Brotherhood, there's a chance you'll be walking down some street and then just see the clown.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's far worse.
There's a civil war in that game. I forgot about the civil war in that game.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It's so bad.
What would they find out again? Healthcare?
Skyrim is a first-person action role-playing game. I think that's what the genre technically is. It's like a first-person shooter, but with swords and stuff. But it can also be third-person, but it's horrible playing in third-person, so you should never do that. And it feels like you have a Nerf sword and you're hitting people with it. Why do I like this game? There are tons of different ways you can play. You can be like a magic user with the magic system that's bad, or you can like fight people with the sword stuff that feels like Nerf swords, or you can play the correct way, which is stealthy. Because if you if you put like any points into any of the stealth stuff, you become a god. Okay, so Todd is the player character, and I'm an NPC. Must have been the wind. So, like, you walk around and you're like, no one ever notices you if you don't want them to. You just press control, and all of a sudden you're basically invisible. And you can walk up, like, with your dagger, which does, like, they're different, like, I haven't even mentioned the RPG part of this RPG. Oh, my dagger now does times 50 damage. So you walk up to somebody and just slit their throat, which I guess would kill them in real life. I guess. But yeah, why would you ever not do that? So that's the best way to play that game. I'm weak and I need a chaser.
For me?
Shut up. Okay, so Bethesda finished the game and Todd Howard was like, this is okay to release. So they released it. And it sold like a bajillion copies. And then they were like, we're a modern developer, we gotta add DLC. Because I mean, so they added DLC. And I think the first one, Hearthstone? I think it was called Hearthstone. It was definitely not called Hearthstone. Hearthfire. Hearthfire.
I got it.
I confused franchises for a second.
I confused my boring Western fantasy franchises that I love, sorry. So there's Hearthfire DLC, which lets you build a house, and I never did that because that's boring. Then there's a vampire one, Dawnguard vampires. So in Dawnguard, you can either join the Dawnguard or you can join the vampires. And I never did that because I'm awful good and boring. So in Dawnguard, you meet this really cool guy. I forget his name, but he's cool. He's the leader of the Dawnguard. And he's like, hey, this weird stuff's happening, you should go check it out. So you do, and you discover the best character in the game. And her name is Serana. And she's this like ancient vampire, like daughter of two vampire lords who's like, I'm fed up with this bullshit, so we're leaving this. She's the best character in the game, and you can't marry her, so I modded the game. So man, that whole DLC is actually really cool. Because there's this whole, like, at one point you have to go find, like, I don't remember. You have to go into this, like, living soul crystal thing? Where it's a soul gem. You have to like put your soul inside of a soul, like a giant soul gem, and go find stuff. And it's really cool. And you like meet a character. The first guy you see in Morrowind is in there. The guy on the boat in Morrowind is a character whose soul is trapped in this giant soul gem. Easter egg. Yeah, then you help beat the vampires or whatever. I don't remember the rest of it. Then there's the other DLC. Dragonborn? Where you go back to Morrowind because Bethesda realized that they haven't made a game as good as Morrowind since Morrowind. But you don't go back to like the main part of Morrowind, you go back to another deal. Yeah, that's the whole part of that I remember, to be honest. Oh, that's all part of this game I forgot existed. So you can like, there's an economy in this game, and you can decide to level up your smithy abilities. You can leather, alchemy. I'm sure that there are others. I don't remember. We can do all that stuff, and you can like make your own weapon. Enchantment, that was one of them.
That was one of them.
And you can make your own weapons or armor. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but dumbed down like 500 times. So yeah, that's base Skyrim.
What about Titty Skyrim?
You should never, ever, ever want to play Skyrim as base Skyrim, which is a good enough game. But it's way better with something we call modification. One thing I really like about Bethesda Game Studios is you can mod their games to the ends of the earth and back.
That's what they're doing anyway. You're just hanging out?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Peanut Butter Gamers here, guys.
Pull that
I thought they were done. They said 8:30.
Bethesda game's really easy to mod because they built their whole system around that because they're smart. So there's a whole bunch you can add to the game. Like I add a bunch of like really lore-friendly stuff. Like I make it so all the guards aren't wearing the same kit because it's boring. You can add like entire quest lines because people are crazy and they have a bunch of time on their hands. And they like make stuff and it's rad. It got to the point where I had installed so many quest mods that I would like run into a quest and I wouldn't be sure if what I had added was something that Bethesda made or if it was like a mod that someone had, which is really impressive. That really just speaks to the quality of the writing and the rest of it, that everything else needs to be made.
Wow. You should play Skyrim because
it's one of the most important RPGs that has ever been made. Open world RPGs that are released today heavily take from Skyrim. Breath of the Wild is a game in particular that I'm thinking of because I voiced that Did You Know Gaming, where they played Skyrim and they were like, how do we recreate this with Zelda? And you could argue that you should go back and just play like the older, more like Morrowind and Oblivion. Man, that's boring.
What? Let me stop you there.
Blank is the best version of Skyrim to play.
Alexa. Which is a real thing, by the way. No, PC. It's absolutely there are mods on the 360 on the Xbox One, but no, the most open version is that it's PC. Absolutely.
I broke my shoe.
Todd broke his shoe. You know, there's a mod that can fix that in Skyrim.
Todd, not Howard.
He probably breaks his shoes all the time.
He's too handsome to break his shoes.
What does that say about me?
Are his feet handsome?
Does Todd Howard have a feet Wikia page?
I imagine he has tiny body feet.
Dude,
He is very small as a person.
he's so small. But the jacket is so big. That's
Do his feet wear jackets?
I think those are called shoes.
The first thing that pops up when you Google Todd Howard feet is a picture of him with Hideo Kojima.
That makes so much sense.
No, PC. You should absolutely play it on PC because it's so open. You can do pretty much anything you want with it. If you're talented enough and there's not a mod for a thing that you want to do, you could just make one.
Have you made any mods?
No, that's hard. If I were going to put Peanut Butter Gamer into anywhere in the game, it would work best if you were like a character you had to like steal from for one of the main quest lines. And like, so I'm thinking like, oh, PPG won a contest and he's in the game now. And
You went real meta with it.
so you go and steal something from him and he's like, oh man.
What's your trademark?
I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention and all of a sudden everything's gone. They stole everything. Skyrim is infamous for glitches, as is every Bethesda game. So there's this one glitch. So NPC detection in this game is determined by their line of sight towards you. So you can go put a basket on their head and they're like, yeah, this is fine. But they can't see you anymore. So you can just do whatever you want. And they're like, hello, welcome to my shop. And there's another glitch where there are these giants in Skyrim who I don't know if they serve any purpose other than they're just there. But when they hit you with their club, you go flying into the sky and it's really funny. And that's all I got. So I think the most important thing to take away from this, and every Bethesda game, is that you should not try to do everything in this game. Because that's a bad idea. There's so much, every frame is just so dense, there's so much going on, that if you were try to complete this game for any reason, it would probably be miserable. You should choose the things that interest you the most, and from there, do that and nothing else.
What's the first 3 things you should do in Skyrim?
The opening quest.
After the opening quest. Once you complete, you sassy bitch.
Yeah, there's this whole really sad quest line where there's a dog in the woods who you should like go find, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm a dog," and he talks to you. No, I know there are 2 dog quests in that game.
Wait, what? Really?
There are 2 dog quests in that game. So there's the one I was thinking about was there's this sad dog quest where it's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm a dog," and you follow it back to the hut that it lives in, and its owner's just dead. And there's a journal. It's like, hey, yeah, I got real sick. Whoever finds this, please take care of my dog. Then there's another dog quest where you find this dog and it talks to you, but like actually talks to you, physically verbalizes to you. And it turns out it's a demon or something. Yep. I don't remember the rest of that quest. You kill a bunch of like crazy people or something.
Keep
Okay.
the dogs in Skyrim.
No, you can't pet the dogs.
Is there a mod to pet the dogs?
Probably. Google, find a mod to pet dogs in Skyrim. There is a mod that lets you pet dogs.
Yeah! So the correct 3 is get the mod, find the dog, and pet the
Pet the
dog.
dog. Find dog, get mod, pet dog. Not necessarily in that order.
Petting the dog is the last in that order. It has to be.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
That's fair.
Let me do this. Let me bore this for you. I'm just worried about this here. There we go. Just one more bit.
Thank you, Austin.
What is this?
It's Viking blood.
That's good.
I definitely didn't say that. So yeah, that's the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. It's one of my top 10 favorite RPGs. It's up there.
What is it worse than?
What is it worse than?
Yeah.
The Witcher 3.
What is it better than?
Two Worlds 2.
That's not a bad scale.
It's I would argue it's closer to The Witcher 3 than Two Worlds 2.
Did you mention Aaron Knee?
Oh, that's a thing.
Can we unmention that?
Thanks for watching this train wreck of a video. Subscribe to NormalBoots.
What do you do on NormalBoots? Who's NormalBoots?
Who do you want to see explain what drunk? Let us know down in the comments below. And if you liked this, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help. If you want to watch Gerard the Completionist talk about Super Mario Honestly Similarly Intoxicated, check out the video where he does just that. Season 2 of Madness is almost here, but don't forget to watch Season 1 if you haven't already.